Litlins have been up to their old...
It's just one thing after another around here.
Ah, my dear Nick.
How did he...
Through the good offices of young Sir Wade. He really... As are you, I hear. The Guardians and those they freed tell the most which is why I came. To learn the full truth.
You were working with the Guardians of the Flame to evacuate the people of Ros...
I was. Aye.
Then I have questions for you.
Gladly. You there? There are 2,000 gold talents in those chests. See that they're added to my nephew's coffer.
2,000?
And I'm afraid...
A fleet sailing south past Port Isolde.
Forgive me for not being able to tell you more. I hadn't the faintest idea Kupka withdrew wounded from Rosalith. Still less that my own...
What do you think, Vivian?
I think, with this news of the Dalmekian fleet and recent reports of the Royalists, come here and I'll It is known that Kupka's forces entered Rosaria via its unguarded coast. So can the same be said of your visitors from Waloed? Certainly her Royal Navy is famed for the efficiency with which it bears her knights from one battlefield to the next. And in the Einherjar, or Black Galleon, she boasts a vessel nigh as swift and every bit as feared as the kingdom's legendary cavalry. A fitting flagship for a land apart, her naval presence being crucial to her ambitions beyond Ash. Yes, it seems safe to assume that the Royalists did indeed enter Rosaria from the sea. So then, had you a vested interest in Titan's survival, whither would you take him? Why, home to Drake's Fang, a place rich enough in ether to conjure the magics needed to mend his hurts. But would that not entail an arduous voyage around the southern cape? Let us say that the Royalists did put ashore with a mind to spirit Kupka away from under your very nose. Could that truly have been their plan for him? To load him aboard one of the ships flying Republican colors sighted off the coast near Port Isolde. To spend weeks at sea, being tossed hither and yon by unforgiving waves, his life hanging in the balance. No. The journey would mean Titan's death, and Kupka's faithful creatures would not allow it. So what then was the plan of our Waluda friends? Reports suggest they made not for the coast, but for the desert. And by cutting through the Velcroy, a party traveling light would have Titan back in his bed days before a galley could lurch into port. To wit, it was the Royalists, not the Republicans, who effected Hugo Kupka's safe retreat. I would stake your life on it.
So it was the Waludas who spirited the wretch away. Now I think about it, there was something... The men seemed almost crestfallen, as if they believed, or were made to believe...
You have a keen mind, and you have your answer. To find Kupka, you have merely to... It may well have gone cold by now. But as they say in the Republic, all roads lead to Drake's Fang.
Allow me to... As luck would have it, I had intended to journey Canberward on business after visiting you here.
I'd be glad of the company. Give me a moment to make ready. I need to...
Very well, but be quick about it, my boy.
Bid's finished outfit, Nolan.
Otto. Kupka's at Drake's Fang.
You're not going in there alone.
Don't worry. I'm not going there to destroy the Mother Crystal. I won't risk any more than I have to.
The Lanza and the Fang are all Kupka's personal... You have any trouble on the way, you ask for Rosina Dalamil. Some call her...
Who is she?
An old associate of Sid's. And only Sid's. All I know is the name. and that we've heard nothing from her since he died. But I'm thinking maybe the news...
Thanks.
So, what about...
Don't look so worried.
Thanks.
Gav, Otto.
You can count on.
All right, Uncle.
We shall. Come.
I was a young man when last I walked this path. There's an old trading post not far from here. The road to Drake's Fang leads through it.
The trading post it is.
Our destination lies over that dune, beyond the ruins. Mark 'em well, Clive. It's all too easy to lose one's bearings in the sands. Caution. Many years ago, when you were just a boy, you and I rode this way, accompanying your father on a scouting expedition to Drake's Fang.
Let me come with you.
I'm not surprised you don't remember. It was just before Joshua was born. You were so eager to be there when your brother arrived that you whipped your chocobo too hard on the journey home and fell from the saddle. I shall never forget how Elwyn fussed over you as you sat in the sand, bawling like a babe.
Good girl.
Yeah!
Who do you think those soldiers?
Ah, there she is. The good old Dalamil Inn. Do you know, this heat has given me quite a thirst. Quick drink before we press on?
Look, there. Those are ashen steeds. No doubt about it.
And such a long ride from Stonehair. Our Waluda friends must be soothing their saddle sores in the inn. Shall we join them? Run along and play now, Torgal. Dogs aren't allowed inside.
Good day to you. Eating?
Sorry about my pal. He only talks when his mouth's full. What do you recommend?
Well, if you're after something light, we do a fine chocobo soup with lentils and honey.
2 bowls of that, then. An ale.
Right you are.
Hey, girl!
Coming!
Your pal?
Would you rather be my squire?
Your Grace, it is plain you are not yet well enough to travel. If you would only let me take you to someone who can better attend to your ills.
No, we must press on. Prince Dion has returned to his camp and will soon depart for the front. I must speak with him at all costs. Miss this chance and I may never get another. You do understand that?
Yes, Your Grace. But you must at least agree to take your medicine. I'll fetch you some water.
Keep watch, they tell us. But all I see is sand.
I hear they got our guest back to the Fang without any trouble. We'll be leaving soon enough.
Why the Lord Commander dragged us all this way just to save that blockhead skin, I'll never know. Dominant or not, he's a bloody idiot.
That'll be Cooker, then.
Well, let's get this down us. We've a long way to go.
Hey, you!
Uncle?
Sorry.
Can you walk, Your Grace?
What's wrong?
I fear trouble may be brewing downstairs.
You two are travelers, are you not? Me and my companions are strangers here. Perhaps you'd be good enough to accompany us a while. Help us find our way.
Sorry, lads, but we've got business in camera that can't wait.
Ah, I'm sure you could spare us an hour or two.
Come on.
Friend.
I'm afraid we don't have a moment to lose. Friend. Stay back, Uncle.
Gladly. Take him!
Try it.
Bravo, my boy! Just like that!
Get up! It's you.
For your trouble. Word of advice, miss. That soup could do with a touch more salt.
Now's our chance. Your Grace?
I'm fine.
Clive? What is it now?
It's nothing. Let's go.
didn't know where to find Kupka before, we do now.
The Royalists said it themselves. Their guest is in the Fang. We should press on before it...
Ah, they've closed the road. And it's the only way from here to the Fang. It would seem Lord Kupka is not accepting visitors at present.
We have to get through that gate.
Not by force, I trust. We've attracted quite enough unwanted attention already.
By guile, then. Perhaps the Desert Hare can offer us her aid.
Rosina Dalamil, woman of mystery. But how will we find her? We know naught of her but her name.
And that she was working with Sid. Sid's other collaborators have all been people of means. The wealthiest and most successful. I'll wager this Rosina Dalamil is the...
That would certainly help to narrow the search.
And that's exactly what I...
Looks like we won't be getting back to Drake's Fang anytime soon.
Light it, for Gilbert's sake. You're a bear.
Anything I can help you, allow me. My good man, we represent one of the oldest and greatest. We're seeking to expand our business in the region and would very much like to make the acquaintance of Dalamil's
Well, we're best known for our baths, our markets, and our smithies.
Thank you. Oh, you wouldn't have...
No.
Well...
What do you want? Can't you see?
I won't keep you long. I'm looking for someone. A woman by the name of Rosina Dalamil. Do you know her?
Never heard of her.
One more question. If I wanted to find the richest trader in town...
Oh, that's easy. The Briar's Kiss. Well, the owner's only a young sprig. But he's got all the right ideas.
The Briar's Kiss, you say?
I doubt this young sprig is the person we're looking for. You said Sid's contact was likely to be an influential sort. Influence comes with age and experience, believe you me.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm a long-standing pillar of your community.
Then you should ask Ferd. He's been here for years. Knows the place and its people like the... Try the baths. That's where you'll...
Thank you. Well, it sounds like we have our man.
Perhaps. Let's go and find out exactly what this Furder knows.
Sweet incense! Wax candles!
Excuse me.
I am.
I hope so. Do you know Rosina Dalamil? We believe...
And what business?
She was a close friend of mine. I was...
Very well. Go to the bordello. I'll...
Do you think we can trust him?
Only as far as I think he'd...
So you're the ones who've been
I beg your pardon?
Don't play the fool. Stick your nose in our business and you'll... Who are you working for? He wanted us to test...
Though one could hardly call that.
Lord Furder?
Look what the cat dragged in.
Your skill with the blade is rare. A fitting talent.
You know who I am. So what now? Calling them...
That isn't mine. Our work is done. Take him to meet his precious Rosina. She will be interested.
Yes, to the Lock of Leisure, then.
To the Lock of Leisure.
Needed to a silken soft...
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
My carpet!
Is this the
Ubor's Forge.
Ah, so much for Rosina Delamil being a woman of experience.
It was an easy mistake to make, Uncle. After all, it must have been... Sorry. Whoever this Lubor truly is, he's clearly a man of means.
See that he gets it. Lubor, Lord Furder told me to bring them to you.
My boys tell me you're in need of assistance. Sid the Second?
I won't waste your time. I need passage through the south gate.
Tell me, what do you think is a merchant's most important commodity? Why, trust. Everyone knows that. Without it, you have nothing. And nothing is exactly what you have. And so, for you, I, too, have nothing. I'm not in the business of helping every lost puppy that wanders in off the street. I'm a busy man, as you can see.
Let's leave this mummer to his farce.
By all means. Find someone else to help you on your way. Just be sure to tell them you're not the two travelers from the inn the guards are looking for. Don't want them jumping to conclusions, do we?
Why, you...
So, what do we need to do to earn your trust?
I like this one. Willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Ha! Men like you have a special place in my heart. Why, you ask? Because they get me what I want. Always.
Fine. So what do you want?
Don't tell me you're going to listen to this swaggering scruff.
We might as well hear him out. It's only natural that an ally of Sid's would seek assurances of strangers. Assuming he is an ally, of course. 5 years ago, he would have still been a boy.
And yet even then I had more good sense than a man... 5 times my age? But enough of the pleasantries. We were speaking of what I want. I want you to put an end to the trouble in Dalamil. Return to me when you have done so, and you shall have my aid. Until then, I bid you good day.
What trouble? If you're going to give us orders, be clear about them, damn you!
Manners, Greybeard. One catches more damselflies with honey than with vinegar.
What did you call me?
My apologies. A word of advice in recompense. Follow the crystals. Oh, but that was 3. Oh, I'm making this too easy for you.
Ha! It will be easy. Solving his little riddle should be like Let us divide our forces, Clive. I'd rather not drag this...
I thought we were the only ones causing trouble in Dalamil. Excuse me.
You've heard?
I've heard rumors.
Damn thing. Pilfering the crystals that were meant to fill our cups and light us. Us common folk have hardly had a shard to share between us these... And it isn't as if we can buy them on the black market either. Well...
Do you have a moment?
Depends.
Just a question. Dalamil seems to be thriving compared to the other villages I came through on the...
Well, we're a stone's throw from Drake's Fang. The soldiers guarding the Mother Crystal and the shipments need a place to spend their hour. The men of the Rock throw their money about like there's no tomorrow.
Is that so? Well...
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
You wouldn't believe how much he gave me. What can I do for you, soldier?
I'm...
Ugh, then be off with you. I serve the men of the Rock and the men of the Rock only.
You have...
Don't be stupid. I just know which side my bread is buttered. Don't want to be stuck under some pauper when they come knocking. With pockets deeper than Zemeckis and an urge to empty them. No, just leave, will you?
I think I'm starting to get an idea of what's been going on. I wonder if Uncle Byron's learned anything of use. They'll probably be back at the inn by now.
It's you. The one who... What do you want? Haven't you caused enough...
I'm looking for my pal.
The gentleman who was with you?
Thank you.
Let me treat you. I'm pretty flush these days.
I need a drink.
Will this suffice?
By the sands.
One of the many treasures in my collection that I would be only too happy to part with.
All right. But not he.
What are you doing? Care to
Bait, my boy. One cannot... And I do believe I've snagged us quite the quarry. I started by asking... I had no luck, of course. But my uncharacteristic indiscretion. Just they took me aside and said they could procure the crystal I sought if...
So the pearl...
I thought they'd asked for more. A second-rate specimen like that would only fetch 500,000. A small price to pay for admittance to the underworld. But enough about my little act of subterfuge.
That the supply of crystals has dried up of late. Meanwhile, members of Kupka's private guard have been spent. I'll wager those soldiers you've been talking to have been siphoning off crystals meant for elsewhere.
I'll wager you're...
We'll meet with them then. Just as you arranged, and put an end to the trouble.
Ha! That preening popinjay thought this would be difficult. It just goes to show, one should never underestimate a Rosfield. I arranged to meet with the soldiers in a secluded corner of the Velcroy, far from prying eyes.
The perfect place for a spot of double dealing.
I trust I can count on your support, if things turn sour.
Of course.
Fucking men of the wrong. 1,000 gil for a measly bunch of... Plates and pots! Bowls and...
Do you think they'll be back soon? I need a new dress.
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
Yes,
My carpets have pride of place in...
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia.
I'll take it from him.
I was beginning to think you weren't coming, my lord.
All the silver and stones I could scrape together.
You brought the whole 500 talents.
That was the price we agreed upon, yes? If you've no objections, I'd like to see the crystal.
Of course. Right this way, my lord.
Not bad at all. But what of security? If I were to be stopped on the road, what guarantee have I that it wouldn't be seized as property?
Because these crystals are no longer the property of the Republic. You're buying from them.
And we have no more jurisdiction here than you, my lord. But we have ships, and will gladly deliver to a port of your choosing, now that our price...
Royalists, eh?
Why? To collect their share of Drake's Fang's blessing, of course. Our nations are allies, and so they are entitled to a port. And, being such good friends, we elected to increase that portion. And now that these crystals are officially property of the Kingdom of Waloed, we are duty-bound not to interfere. No matter...
Did you get all that?
So it would seem.
My lord!
Double-crossing dogs. They're not here. Kill them! Kill them both!
It's not over yet, Uncle! I'm just getting warmed up!
Well, that wasn't too bad. How'd you like my performance, huh? I've often played the villain on the stage.
Greybeard, you were magnificent. Such a shame you didn't have more of an audience, but...
How long have you been watching?
Long enough to witness your uncle's... I hardly expected one so venerable to degrade himself so thoroughly. Buying one's way into the confidence of degenerate.
This was the trouble you spoke of. The men of the Rock taking crystals meant for the common folk and well...
Indeed it is. The people of Dalamil had scarcely any means of redress against Kupka's men, let alone a foreign army. Until you two came along, that is. Well, we'd better get these crystals back to town. You won't mind waiting with them while I fetch a wagon. It occurs to me that I still don't know your name.
Clive.
So, Sid the Second is a Clive. I suppose it could have been worse. Well, Clive, you held up your end of the bargain, so I must do the same. Passage, to tell the truth, you've helped a little there too. Many of the guards have already been redeployed to deal with the issue of their missing comrade, and those left behind have been encouraged to look the other way should you attempt to pass through.
Thank you. And please allow me to cover your costs. You still have the purse I gave to the soldiers, I trust? I saw you pluck it from one of the bodies.
Oh, dear.
And my name is not Greybeard. It is Lord Byron Rosfield, thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Greybeard.
Of all the... Ugh!
Here. Any friend of mine who sees you with it shall be a friend of yours.
Thank you, Lubor.
And please, feel free to send one of my Stoluses back to your people. Tell them that Rosina Dalamil is back in bed with Sid.
Umia los delan. Tu isakelis.
I'm trusting you, Sid. Or should I say, Clive. So be sure not to let me down. I have a reputation to uphold. Well then, I wish you a safe journey.
Thank you.
Not at all. It was my pleasure.
Come on, Uncle.